Hi guys, today we are learning volume of prisms and cylinders. First one we'll look at is the prism, but also realize just like surface area, prism and cylinder really have the same volume formula. So hopefully you're thinking, hey, I know that, that's length times width times height, which is great. But I don't want you memorizing length times width times height because that only works for this right rectangular prism. If it were a prism with any other base, other than, let's say, a square, if it had triangular base, a hexagonal base, anything like that, length times width times height wouldn't work. So instead, let's focus in on the length times width. Length times width is really representing the area of the base. Then times height gives you that L times W times H, which is our formula. Our formula that I want you guys knowing is, oops, area of base, sorry this is sloppy, times height. Or better yet, what I would memorize it is as big B for area of base times height. And if you want to remind yourself, we've done this before, but big B equals area of base. Okay, next we have a cylinder. Cylinder is just like the prism. It's area of base times height. I'm just going to write that again. Which I would remember still as just big B times H. Or if you're that person that likes to have all of them completely memorized, the area of a base of a circle is pi r squared. Then we multiply by that H. Okay, so that's it for the two shapes that we're dealing with today, prisms and cylinders. The volume formula is always area of the base times the height. So for the rest of our notes, I'm not only going to just focus on volume, but I'm also going to keep going back to surface area, because in my opinion, surface area is more difficult than volume. So I've asked for the volume, I've asked for the surface area. Okay, looking at our first example, find the volume and the total surface area. You know, even though it doesn't say it, I'm going to find the area of the base, because for volume I need the area of base, and for surface area, bases are part of my surface area. So I'm off to the side going to find my base. Base to me is very important. And it all depends on what you want to call your base, but I'm going to choose to call this bottom piece my base. You will get the same answer depending on if you call other things bases, but let's just all try to do the same thing. So area of our base is just that 10 times 5, and we end up with 50 inches squared. Okay, well now that we have that base, it's super easy for volume, because volume we know is area of base times height. So I'm just going to steal that 50, and we'll have 50 times the height of 6, and we end up with a volume of 300. Now units wise, our area of our base was inches squared, and we're multiplying by another inches, so that's now inches cubed. And total surface area, remember, it needs to be broken into the lateral and the total. So I already have one base. I'm going to find my lateral. Going to remind myself from the last few days that that's perimeter of base times height. Since we called that rectangle with dimensions of 10 and 5 our perimeter is 10 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5, we're ready at 30, times our height of then 6. And our lateral surface area is now 180 inches squared. Putting that together with the base, we can find that our total surface area is equal to 180 from our lateral, plus the fact that we have two bases. So 180 plus 100, and we get 280 inches squared for that total area. Feel free to pause at any point if I'm going too fast. Okay, ideally you guys would now try both of these on your own, so feel free to pause and then hit play when you're ready to go over either one or both of them. I'm obviously not going to sit here in silence, just hit pause. Okay, so just like I did for our last one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the area of the base. The base here is what's highlighted in blue. I've got sides of 5, 5, and 6. And we know that the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Well, we need to go ahead and drop an altitude down so that we split into 3 and 3. And then we see that we have a nice perpendicular height of 4, giving us the area equal to 1/2 of our full base of 6 times that newfound height of 4. And half of 24 gives us 12. I think that's meant to be feet. I can't really read it. We'll go feet squared. Okay, now volume, remember, it's just area of base times the height. We've done the hard work for this problem. Area of our base we just found was 12, and the height connecting the two bases is another 12. Therefore, we're left with 144 feet squared. Oops, excuse me, cubed. We're on volume. Because we had feet squared from the base times another foot from the height, so we got feet cubed. Now we're going to keep practicing surface area because that is the toughest in my opinion. Lateral surface area equals, remember, the perimeter of base times height. Therefore, it's 5 plus 5 plus 6 times that height of 12. And we're left with 16 times 12, or 192 feet squared for our lateral surface area. And then for our total, we have our lateral plus our two bases. 192 plus our 2 times that base of 12, and we are left with 216 feet squared for our total area. Okay, for C, I'm just going to go ahead and add in inches because I didn't put a unit. Once again, I'm going to find the area of the base, which this is a cylinder, so the base is a circle, and we just get a nice easy 5 squared pi, or 25 pi inches squared. Okay, for volume, still area of base times height. Our base was 25 pi times that height of 13, results in 325 pi inches cubed. Remember, inches squared times inches gives us inches cubed. Okay, for total, I'm going to start with my lateral. Lateral, remember, is still perimeter times height. I choose not to memorize the pi dh. I just realized that as soon as I see perimeter of a circle, that is representing the circumference. And since our radius is 5, our circumference is going to be 10 pi times that height of 13. And we have a lateral surface area of 130 pi inches squared. Finally, putting it together, total area is our lateral plus our two bases, 130 pi plus 2 of the 25 pi's, gives us 130 pi plus 50 pi, or 180 pi inches squared. Okay, that's it. Tonight's homework is day 6. Have a great weekend, and I'll answer obviously any questions when I return on Monday. See you guys later.